Welcome to the AI Shift, a weekly 15-minute strategy session designed for business owners who want clarity, not complexity. Whether you're stuck in tool overload, scattered workflows, or just unsure where to start, this is where strategy meets execution. It's designed to reset your week, sharpen your thinking, and turn AI from hype into help. Hi everyone, my name is Craig and it's very good to be with you today to present you another edition of the AI Shift. And this week we're going to look at from tool stack to thinking stack, installing your AI growth operating system. So today we're going to talk about something a lot of businesses are starting to feel, but haven't quite named yet. AI tools are everywhere. You've got content tools, you've got automation tools, you've got analytics tools. But somehow, using all these tools, your business still feels complicated. Because the problem most businesses have right now isn't a lack of AI tools. It's the absence of a thinking system that tells those tools how the business should operate. So the reality most businesses are now facing is that they've got AI tools everywhere. Think about the last year. Most business owners or business people have experimented with a growing stack of tools, maybe using AI to write content, to summarize information, to analyze data for you. Maybe it's automating some of your workflows. Maybe it's responding to customers. And each tool does something useful. But here's what often happens. The tools generate output, and yet the business owner, the marketing executive, the sales manager, the data analyst still has to decide everything. What to prioritize, what to publish, what matters, what to change. The tools are working, but the thinking layer is still manual. So let's look at the myth we're going to bust this week. And there's a common assumption behind this. If I just find the right AI stack, everything will work. I have more tools, more integrations, more automation. It feels like progress. But tools increase capability. They don't automatically create coherence. Without a structure guiding them, tools operate independently. And independent tools create fragmented decisions. So let's look at what the problem is. Tools are very good at creating output for you, for your business, for people, your staff. They're very good at generating ideas for content, for reports, for summaries, for automations. But tools don't decide how your business should run. They don't define priorities. They don't define standards. They don't decide what matters. And when those things aren't defined, every decision flows back to the owner, to the sales manager, to the marketing manager, to the operations manager, to whoever is in your business who has responsibility for that at the end of the day. Which means the business still scales around that person's brain, around the business owner's brain, around the sales manager's brain, or the sales staff's brain. Therefore, it becomes locked in someone's head. It's not being built around a system, not being built around a system so that everyone benefits. It's operating within someone's head, within someone's brain. So the shift is, here's the shift that we suggest, or we say you should do. It's stop building a tool stack. We've read numerous articles where companies are abandoning AI tool stacks that they've built because they're not getting a return. What you need to start installing is a thinking stack. A tool stack focuses on capability. A thinking stack focuses on how decisions get made. Because once decisions are structured, tools suddenly become powerful. Not because the tools have changed, but because the system guiding them did. So this is what a thinking stack does. A thinking stack answers a few simple questions. What matters? What should be ignored? How do we make decisions? What action should follow? And when those answers exist, AI stops generating random output and starts operating inside a clear model. Your tools become operators, not just assistants. So what we look at here is the AI growth operating system. One simple think away that is what we call the AI growth operating system. Not as software, but as a structure for how your business thinks. 5 simple layers, a simple structure for every business. Inputs, where information enters your business. Sales reports, customer feedback, sales results, staff, customer feedback. You've got it all. Filters, what gets prioritized and what gets ignored. So a number of your staff would be doing this automatically in their brain. You already have got this happening within your business. But it's being siloed. Decision rules, how choices are made. Your manager may know that if a sales staff member comes and asks for a question, he knows if it's up to this level or she knows if it's up to this level, I'll give approval. If it's not up to this level, I won't give approval. There's already that in there. Execution, where AI or automation performs the work. And feedback, what improves the system over time. So it's a simple structure, your AI growth operating system. Inputs, filters, decision rules, execution, feedback. Your data comes in, you filter it, how you make your decisions. AI performs the role, the execution, the job, and then your feedback will improve it over time. Tools perform tasks, operating systems govern behavior. And that is what we have as the AI growth operating system. For an example, let's break this down to how it's probably operating in the majority business. You got to imagine you got a marketing workflow, and it's a typical tool stack setup. AI will generate content. A scheduler publishes it. Analytics report the results, what the traffic is, but the founder still decides, or the business owner, or the marketing manager, or the sales manager still will decide what topics matter, which content gets created, what success looks like, what changes next. Now imagine the same tools inside a thinking stack. So your inputs are customer conversations. You filter that out by only buyer questions. Your decision rule is prioritize questions tied to revenue. Execution is where AI generates content from those questions. And feedback is your results are measured by lead conversion. Same tools, different leverage. So just to go back through those 5 layers again, the inputs are from customer conversations, from your sales staff, from your customer support staff, from customer feedback. You decision rule, you filter that and you only want buyer questions. We all get tire kickers, we all get people who are just shopping around, but you want to focus on the key people who are actually buying or very close to buying. Decision rule is prioritize questions tied to revenue. Your execution, AI generates content from those questions. And then you just measure the results for a key metric, lead conversion or sales or whatever is important to you and your business. That is your operating system. So this week's shift for you is don't add another tool. Don't add another tool. Instead, ask a different question. What decision in my business gets made over and over again? It could be such as what leads matter most. You might already have a scoring system. You might already have an ABC. You might different ways of classifying your leads. Which content ideas get published? Again, you probably have, hopefully, you've got a schedule for the next month, if not the next quarter. Which offers get prioritized? Hopefully, you've got a schedule on what's happening in terms of your customers and their buying behavior. Different seasons, different things changing. Which metrics trigger action? Hopefully you're have that in with your business. So you pick one, define the rule behind it, and that's the first layer of your thinking stack. Let AI operate inside it, and bang, you've started to develop a thinking stack. And that's where you need to take AI within your business and operating your business. So you don't scale by adding tools. You scale by installing systems that decide how work happens. AI becomes powerful when it stops acting like a collection of tools and starts operating inside a clear model. That's when businesses move from experimenting with AI to building leverage with it. So this week, start with one decision, install the rule, and let the system begin. Thank you. That's us for this week. I hope you've got something from that, and I hope you start thinking about letting AI make decisions for you based on the guardrails and the constraints and the rules you already are operating within your business. Be they documented rules or be they rules that are in someone's head. Give them to AI, give it clear direction, clear communication, and start to utilize the full power of AI within your business. Stop building a tool stack. Tools perform tasks. Operating systems govern behavior. You don't scale by adding tools. So that's us for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of the AI Shift. Please leave us a comment or notes below so that we can improve, or let us know of other topics you want us to include or cover in coming weeks. Thank you for this week. We'll be back next week with either the AI shift or a new segment that we're working on. We're still balancing this new segment to go a little bit more in depth on some topics as we start to build more and more AI growth operating systems in various businesses. But look out for us next week. It's been very good to have presented this to you this week. I look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, bye for now.